Hey, Coach, I'm so excited you found us. Make sure you subscribe down below and hit up above. We put new content out just about every day. Also, make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. If you want to put up balls like this, if you want to win, you want to learn the game, you want the roadmap to become a better basketball coach, teachhoops.com is the answer for you. It's a little bit of everything. It's mentoring, it's resources. Go over and check it out and have a great day.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops.
Coach, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really good, Love October. Love Halloween. I've had this discussion with you, but I love Halloween.
We're starting the big climb, right? Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, right? It's the big climb right here now.
Oh, it is. I never thought of it. It is the big climb, especially when you have kids at home.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah.
When they're youth kids, it's like, oh my God. It was like from Thanksgiving, then they'd have all the sugar high from Halloween all the way to Christmas. I know.
Well, as we're starting, right? And we got the basketball season, right? A lot of youth teams and are starting
all of that.
Fall and
all
states anyway, right?
So all right. Yes. So today we're talking about I actually was one of these parents at one point. Not really, but kind of.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that story. Yeah, we're talking about again, this is part 2 of the 3-part series. If you missed the part 1 of kind of the parent communication and dealing with parents, go listen to the last episode. But this is part 2. This one is a very specific issue that I hear a lot that comes up. And again, we're doing this into 3 parts because this is the number one issue we heard from our coaches in our Facebook group about what they're struggling with, and it is the parents. And a lot of times they just say parents. Yeah, they don't get much right feedback other than, oh my gosh, the parents.
Yes,
parents.
and if you say anything, yes.
So,
yeah. What's the hardest thing? Parents. It's usually parents, parents is what they say. Yes.
So we want to address specific issues that have come up, and how do we handle them, give you some tips on how to do that. So this one in particular is about, how do you work with that parent or parents who are coaching their kids from the stands? We've all been there. We've all heard that player.
Actually, I take it back. This was not me. This was me more talking to the officials from the sideline than the parent. But yes, anyway.
Well, kind of the same thing.
That
right?
it is kind of that. Well, it could probably fall in
coaching from the sidelines, right?
Yes.
But before we jump into the topic, want to give a shout out to Game Changer. Coaches, go to gc.com/coaching youth hoops. Game Changer is a great tool if you're looking to collaborate with parents, since we're talking about that. Send out schedules, share stats, video, live video. It is my number one tool in my toolkit that I use to enhance the product that I'm delivering to parents. So gc.com/coaching youth hoops. Go check it out.
All right, let's do that. All right, sideline parents or sideline coaches.
Let me paint the dream scenario, though. It's like,
okay,
right? We all, as coaches, we want this, right? You're coaching, the parents are just cheering the team, cheering the individual
positively, yes.
Right? They're saying amazing things about you. The energy is positive, right? That is the holy grail, right? This harmonious environment they're trying to create, right? But
in reality
is, right? We want parents who are engaged, who are invested, right? Because it helps us succeed as well. But we don't want the negative energy that comes along with it. And we all know the issues that can come up when parents are coaching from the stands.
Right.
The classic scenario where I just told there's a couple seconds left on the clock. We just called the timeout. I told the kids to hold on to the ball to secure the win. Okay. The little Johnny is wide open, could drive, could shoot. He's wide open. Mom and dad are yelling from the stands, shoot the ball, shoot the ball. Right? So now Johnny is really confused. Coach told me not to. My mom or dad are yelling, shoot the ball. Right? And what do you do in that situation? What do you do as a child? What do you do as a coach? And it's really hard on the kids.
It's very hard on the kids. And I don't know how you dealt with this, but I usually had a parent meeting early and talked about that. I said, if they're hearing two voices, it's hard for them. You want to make it, and I've had to have this coach with assistant coaches, even like sometimes are parents. But I think the how you communicate to the parents early is going to be is important. I've had to also deal with ones that you communicate and they still don't 100% get it, and then I'm going to have some individual discussions and conversations and challenging things at that point. But I would say 95% of the stuff was taken care of early. It's like they're here to have fun, they're here to learn. It's better if they hear one voice. There's not 4 teachers in a classroom. Usually there's one, and the one teacher, it's like, I'm the teacher here, and then blah, blah, blah. It's kind of used an analogy in the classroom. It's like, but I think that tends to work, that you have to have some sort of plan or strategy with communication.
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple of things that I always talk about. I say, one, I'm not perfect. I'm going to make a mistake in the game. Okay. But we want one voice during a game to heat off this confusion with the kids. And I always say, for the 60 minutes of the game, I have them. They're mine. They're my responsibility. They need to hear the one voice. And that's fair enough to say to parents. And you can dive into this confusion. Like, it's really confusing. And, I explained this scenario that I did up front, which is I told them one thing, you're telling them another. Both are true, but I have they should be listening to me when they're on the court. And there's 101 ways to coach this game, right? And that goes back to the kind of what's your philosophy and what's your strategy, right? You don't know what we just said. You don't know what their capabilities are as a team like I do, because I'm with them in practice.
Right.
So
and you don't always know what we've talked about in practice and what where our decisions are, and especially as they get higher up in the levels and stuff. I think that's an important, but I think the communication aspect of it can really take a lot of it off your table. Most coaches get in, this is what we talked about last week, but most people, this is where they get into a problem, is they don't communicate, here's my boundaries, here's what I expect, and and they don't have a meeting. And sometimes, especially with the older kids, I'll have the meeting with the kids. I don't tend to do that at the elementary level, but the older ones, I want the kids and the parent to hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, exactly. I usually don't have a parent meeting unless the kid is there. I think that's really important, right? That they're hearing it.
Right.
So there isn't this, well, coach said, and then right? It's like, no, the kid is hearing the same thing. They may interpret a little bit differently, but I think it goes back to exactly the common theme across these next 3 weeks, these next 3 podcasts, is communication. And, setting up front that I have them for that 60 minutes in a game, and they need to hear one voice, and just doubling down on that aspect of confusion, right? I just told them not to do something, you're telling them to do something. It's very hard for a kid. They know if they do that opposite thing that they may sit, but if they don't listen to you, you may, could be a
Right.
discipline
It might be
disciplinary,
a problem.
right? Yeah.
Before we go on and talk about some of the other aspects, Coach, let's give a big shout out to our sponsors, talk about our practice plans and Game Changer, and let's do that right now.
Yeah, coaches, go check out gc.com/coaching youth hoop. It's a great free app you can use to manage your team, create game film, stats. It's everything you need really to manage your back office of your team. And coaches, Steve and I have taken all the trouble out of creating practice plans for you. Again, you're going to leverage our 50 years of combined experience, knowing what works, what doesn't. We took out all the fluff. We have a plan for you. So go check it out at coachingyouthhoops.com. Find your grade and download a practice plan. They're already done for you.
Yeah, we're old. That's what I take away when you say that, Coach.
Yeah, age is just a state of mind, Coach.
Okay. That is true. I can ask my 86-year-old mother that. She'll tell you that true. It's like it is a state of mind. All right, what else, Coach, as far as dealing with parents and stuff? So we talked about our communication. We've talked about setting boundaries with parents and stuff. What else?
Well, I think, and it goes back to your question. How do you deal with that parent who, okay, did all that? Now what do you do? They're still not getting it. I have in the past, of course, approached them with together with their, like we said before, approach them with their player and say, remind them one-on-one one more time, right? Here's my expectation. It's really hard. And then the third time, I'll tell them, look, if you want to talk to your daughter or your son, I'm going to pull them out of the game. They're going to sit right here on the bench, and you can just go whisper in their ear for the rest of the game. Because now you can talk to them, and you don't have to shout, right? You don't have to shout anymore. They're going to be right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if that still doesn't work, then it's like, look, if you can't be quiet, you can't come.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes you just have to, you have to get like that, or don't, if you're doing a invite only type of team, then it's, don't have them back on your team. Even I don't care if they are, if it's causing problems, right? Because
And the
what that
problem
one
is
person becomes two, becomes three, becomes right, and
it grows exponentially, and it's also as a youth coach, you are a teacher. As a parent, you're a teacher. I don't care what you say, but this is like you're impacting more than just your athlete. I think that's an important thing to remember and to convey. It's like this isn't, you're not only impacting your child, but you're impacting the other children, and maybe the ability of the officials, maybe the ability of me to do. All these people are trying to do their jobs, and it's hard to do that.
Yeah, it's hard to do that. Yeah, exactly. Or, it's a really good point where you have, Johnny's parent is yelling at Johnny, but Tommy thinks it's his dad, or he thought it was me. And because, crazy game situation, and Tommy has the ball, and or Johnny just passes to Tommy, and Tommy, just is finishing. And anyway, it causes it just a lot of confusion, not only for your own child, but for everybody. So let the coaches have a conversation after, and this is talking directly to the parents, right? Have that conversation. If you're a coach and you're at another sport, keep your mouth quiet in the stands, right? You model the behavior again that you want for all parents. So don't expect, if you're yelling and screaming at the volleyball game and now you're the basketball coach and expect parents to be quiet, you can't have it both ways.
No, you can't have it both ways. All right, let's give everybody a summary here, Coach. I think
so again, number one thing is just communicate those boundaries, what you expect. Let them know that, hey, I got them for the 60 minutes during the games. They have to listen to me, otherwise it's going to cause confusion. Explain that. Be very deliberate in that, because it is going to happen. They're going to be coaching from the stands, and as a parent, I know I want to, tell my son to do X or my daughter to do Y.
Or not do something, to do something, or not do something.
Yeah. Again, going back, keep those.
And there's a scale. If all the parents are yelling foul because we have to commit a foul to put them in the free throw, I mean, there's different. Yeah. Anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the game, and we're down 1, and there's 12 seconds to go, and we need to foul, and everyone knows we need to foul. Then there's
Well, if I'm calling foul,
yes,
if the kids aren't doing it and they don't, then it's right.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I still have the lead.
Yes. But
Yeah.
I'm saying there are times where we need your help, but those are rare. But that's what I was thinking of. Is like because it's a loud gym. Sometimes you need some help. You know? Yeah.
And I guess at the end of the day, just set a policy, whatever that is. Like, if you don't mind them yelling at their kids, okay. But but be upfront about whatever you want and what the expectation is. You get a warning. Second time, you're going to get asked to leave. Third time, whatever it is, you're suspended for, or your child won't play. Your child isn't even going to play, right? So whatever those, you got to set some. If it becomes an issue, set those boundaries.
Yeah, I love that. Keep going. Is that it, Coach? You were doing the summary.
Yeah.
Them all?
Yeah. I mean, I think, so just is the communication, set the boundaries with the parents, have whatever the policy is that you're going to do. So it's very clear.
Okay.
Warning, right? Bench, right?
Whatever it's going to be. And let's give a big shout out to Game Changer again. You can go check it out.
Yeah. Go to gc.com/coaching youth hoops. It's a free app. Go download
next week, Coach.
Next week.
Hey, Coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like before you leave. And also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's got everything and a roadmap for you to become a better basketball coach. So go over and check it out. And let's head back to the next video, wherever that would be.